The New York Jets have made multiple coaching moves amid some news that they will not be acquiring one specific coach. They were looking as a potential offensive coordinator, which does mean they'll go ahead and steal someone off of Dan Campbell's staff. Meanwhile, the Jets have also retained a coach that Garrett Wilson loves, and we have a lot to talk about, so we're going to jump right into this. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jets Digest. It's Chris and Matt here, and we're jumping into this as always. Guys, if you enjoy the channel and you're part of that 79% not subscribed, make sure to hit the subscribe button. It helps us out a ton, and if you want daily New York Jets news, updates on all injuries and transactions for the Jets, trade rumors, free agency rumors, draft rumors, this is the place to be. But let's jump into this video because we have a lot to discuss. The New York Jets have been making multiple moves, and we're going to jump into the first one right now, Matt, with Connor Hughes revealing that the Jets made a run at adding Nick Caley as the offensive coordinator, their top option. He let it be known that he did not have interest in the New York Jets job, and the expectation is that Tanner Engstrand will be named the offensive coordinator. Remember on Caley, he works with Mike LaFleur. Mike LaFleur was fired by the New York Jets after his offensive struggles with Zach Wilson. The Jets have questions at quarterback entering 2025. If not Aaron Rodgers, then who's the quarterback? What's the long-term answer? The Jets are not the only team that was targeting Caley as well, so he will have other options, and he did not see the Jets as an option he wanted to take after just not only the LaFleur stuff, but also being a guy who would take an offensive coordinator job, and he doesn't know who his quarterback's going to be over the next 3 years, and he knows damn well there's a likelihood that it can switch around a lot and likely will switch around one or two times. So all that being said, not too surprising, and also it does mean the Jets will move forward with Tanner Engstrand. I like that. I'm a fan of Engstrand. I like taking a guy who's leaving the Detroit Lions, adding more of the Lions' brain trust onto the team. I think this is a good move. Obviously, Caley would have been a good signing as well. However, the Jets, it feels like a pretty damn good consolation prize, Matt.
I wouldn't even call him a consolation prize. Before the Nick Caley news dropped this morning in a video only yesterday, I announced that, Caley and Engstrand were 1A and 1B in terms of who the next offensive coordinator for the New York Jets was going to be. Caley was, of course, an extremely qualified option that the New York Jets had, but that connection with Mike LaFleur, if Caley just saw Mike LaFleur's offense fail with the New York Jets, it would give him cause for a pause to come over to the New York Jets and just try the same offense again. The definition of insanity. You don't want to keep trying the same thing over and over again and expect different results. However, something that the Jets are going to be doing for the first time is bringing in the offensive coordinator from the Detroit Lions. The Jets offensive coordinator is going to be Tanner Engstrand. According to Connor Hughes this morning, seems like a shoo-in when talking about Tanner Engstrand. So we can expect him to be the offensive coordinator for the New York Jets pretty soon here. Also, Connor Hughes described him as a brilliant offensive mind. If that's not someone that New York Jets fans can be excited for, I don't know what they would be getting excited for. The Detroit Lions, the offense that he has been overseeing, has been absolutely explosive over the past couple of years. And no matter who is in that offense, everyone plays better because that's just what that offense brings out of people, brings out the absolute best. And every single player is playing up to their full potential, whether it's tight ends, wide receivers, even offensive linemen. That's something that I think we cannot overlook. The New York Jets have talent on the offensive line, but we got one of my favorite guys, Olu Fashanu, someone who needs to be developed properly. And I really think Tanner Engstrand is someone who can have a really, really important effect on Olu Fashanu, his development with the New York Jets going forwards here. Very exciting about Tanner Engstrand here, Chris, if you can't tell.
Yeah, clearly you seem so excited that you need a stick of deodorant to get Tanner Engstrand as the Jets offensive coordinator. Guys, Matt actually does eat sticks of deodorant as well. That's it. That's the breakfast of champions from Matt, a Four Loko and a stick of deodorant for breakfast. But in all seriousness, yeah, Engstrand's a good move. I don't know where I thought of that, what I just said, but look, Engstrand's a good move. I like it as well. You saw the way the Lions offense became so dynamic through just so many different weapons, and obviously part of that is being good at free agency, drafting well, all that stuff that adds up. But at the same time, I'm excited. I'm happy. I look forward to seeing what Engstrand will do with whoever the Jets quarterback is, which likely is going to be Aaron Rodgers, but also could be a guy like Garrett Wilson potentially, and, well, obviously Garrett Wilson unless he were to request a trade, but obviously this doesn't mean it's the end-all, be-all for Garrett Wilson, but we do have sort of an update which will help him not request a trade. As the New York Jets are keeping wide receivers coach Shawn Jefferson, they blocked all interview requests for teams interested in him. And this is a very, very interesting move by the New York Jets. As, wait for it, where's he? There he is. As Garrett Wilson loves Shawn Jefferson, they have a very good bond. Wilson is a huge fan of working with him, and obviously there's the chance, I'd say it's an outside chance, but there's a chance that Garrett Wilson could request a trade in the offseason, retaining Shawn Jefferson, hiring a dynamic coach. The Jets are doing the right things to prevent Garrett Wilson from trying to potentially leave. So I love this. I love that the Jets blocked Jefferson from going everywhere. We've seen some good production out of some Jets receivers, specifically Garrett Wilson over the last couple of years as well. I think this is just, again, it's just a good move, and it prevents Garrett Wilson from getting a little jumpy and potentially requesting a trade. I think it's helpful for the Jets in a lot of ways.
Every single move that the New York Jets make with Garrett Wilson, and specifically keeping Garrett Wilson in mind, is going to be a good move in my book. He's one of the best players on the New York Jets.
He's the franchise player.
Yeah, no one's going to argue with me on that. Unfortunately, we have heard these rumors about him potentially coming out and demanding a trade. And I understand the Jets have him under contract for 2 more years. But if you watch Aaron Glenn's intro, he wants a culture to be built, and he wants players who want to be there. If Garrett Wilson demands a trade, the New York Jets are not going to hold him hostage. They're going to honor that trade request, and they're going to trade him for a first-round pick. So I understand that the New York Jets have all the leverage in Garrett Wilson's future, but they're not going to hold him hostage. Aaron Glenn knows that's bad for culture, and it's bad for picking up free agents in the future, because if you're a free agent, why would you ever go to a team that holds wide receivers hostage? Garrett Wilson, he's going to sign a monster contract either this offseason or next, and that's going to be, it's one of the most determinative factors in how much money he's going to make are his stats. And the New York Jets, when they don't provide him with adequate quarterback play, his stats take a hit, and Garrett Wilson knows that. That's going to be the number one thing that is on his mind at this moment when it comes to, does he want to demand a trade or not? So picking up one of his favorite coaches and retaining him for the future, absolute huge move. The Jets had to do it. I'm so happy that they did it because, like we said before, Garrett Wilson is our favorite player on the New York Jets. We want to see him go nowhere. And if he does end up demanding a trade, he will be gone. Make no mistake about that.
Yeah, I think also just blocking Jefferson from even getting interviews is such a good sign of the Jets saying, hey, we know that our franchise player, because if there's a franchise player on the Jets, it's 1,000% Garrett Wilson. It's no shadow of a doubt, it's Garrett Wilson. And, I mean, who's the only other argument? Aaron Rodgers? Like, and he's obviously not, considering he's 66, but, like, you look at Wilson, you do whatever it takes to keep a guy like this around. A dynamic receiver since day one, easily could be a wide receiver one on any contending team. It just makes all the sense in the world to do whatever it takes to show him, hey, as Aaron Glenn said, we want players who want to be here, but it's also at the same time, build a culture that players want to be a part of as well. This is one of those things that the Jets are doing. They're making a team, they're making a culture that will interest Garrett Wilson into wanting to stay a part of. Obviously, we've seen a few Jets players be very outspoken on the fact that they want to be part of the turnaround. I think that is excellent and entering into this Aaron Glenn era. Like how Sauce Gardner said that he has no plans of ever going anywhere because he said it won't feel right if the Jets turn around and he's not there for it. So hopefully, obviously, Garrett Wilson's in a much different situation than Sauce Gardner, despite the fact that they're the same age and the contracts are going to happen at similar times. Despite all that, they're obviously in much different situations, one being a wide receiver, one being a corner, but I think this is a very good sign. I think there's a lot of culmination that means Garrett Wilson's not requesting a trade this offseason, if you ask me.
Yeah, so what you're saying, they're in different situations because, yes, they were drafted in the same year. They're both going to be entering the 4th year of their contracts, and the Jets will be picking up the 5th-year option for both these players. So why are their contract talks so different? One, because the wide receiver market is one of the most lucrative free agent markets in the NFL, only behind quarterback and maybe pass rusher. The cornerbacks don't get paid as much yet. We're going to see where that goes once the salary cap in the NFL continues to increase. But Sauce Gardner, he can be the top paid corner off just what he does. Garrett Wilson is reliant on the play of the quarterback and the overall offense to prove that he deserves that money. So that's why they're in different situations. Garrett Wilson needs a good situation around him, where Sauce, he could be a lockdown corner. Even if the rest of the defense sucks, he can still prove that he deserves to be the number one paid corner in football, which I believe he has proven. The first rookie cornerback to be named an All-Pro since Ronnie Lott, and the first cornerback to be named All-Pro in his first 2 seasons since Sauce Gardner. So pretty impressive. Sauce Gardner is going to have no problem getting his money. Garrett Wilson is going to have to fight for it. I'm sure he's a fighter. He, without a doubt, in his head believes he deserves to be getting that Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson money. Unfortunately for him, the stats do not back that up. So he is more likely looking at that Jalen Waddle type of contract. And it is definitely a thought in his head. If I went somewhere else, like if I demand a trade to the Washington Commanders, do my stats look better? And could that add to like $10 million onto my contract? He's thinking about it. I hope he doesn't think too hard about it and just stays with the team, but he's thinking about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's right, too. He's just flat out correct. Like, no matter anything else, Garrett's correct. But also one other coaching thing. Rich Cimini did mention that he did some digging on Steve Wilks from a scheme standpoint, and the conclusion was there's a lot of blitzing. He prefers zone over man. One exception is the 2023 San Francisco 49ers, when he could form San Francisco to a way of doing things. In the rankings per Next Gen Stats in 2023, the Niners were 30th in blitz rate and 9th in zone coverage. The 2019 Cleveland Browns were 4th in blitz rate and 9th in zone coverage. The 2018 Arizona Cardinals were, not the 2018, the 2018 Arizona Cardinals were 1st in blitz, 3rd in zone. And then the 2017 Carolina Panthers were 1st in blitz, 2nd in zone. Aaron Glenn likes the blitz as well. Matt, we talked about this a little bit before. Obviously, there's a video that you did that's coming out on this. So not to harp on this for a while, because I don't want to give away what you did, and I know your video's not.
No, here's what we're gonna say. You want to learn more about this tweet? Watch our next video.
Yeah, and by ours,
wrong way. There we go.
We mean his. I'm gonna poke him.
Nope, don't touch me. No. I meant to move away.
Yeah.
Let the record show that I was trying to move away from him.
No, he wasn't. Matt's a freak. Guys, make sure to watch Matt's next video. It's a way bigger, in-depth thing on the blitz, and there's no reason to talk about it twice because, well, honestly, who really cares? Guys, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Jets. I didn't say Knicks this time.